Greetings, travelers, and welcome to Tales of Adventure, the show where Dungeons and Dragons, improv, and storytelling band together in a ragtag bunch of misfits to fight evil on their quest. Since the dawn of time, people have told stories of great heroes and terrible villains, living in worlds of fantasy where anything could happen at all. Since 1974, nerds in basements have used complicated systems of rules and dice rolling to adjudicate exactly what happens in those stories where anything could happen. Today, we will tell you one of many such tales of adventure. These are our heroes. Marcus Lavelle, human knight.
Hello, everybody. Glad to be back and glad to be on this adventure of Lavelle's Archaeological Acquisitions Limited. Yes, it's rolls off the tongue, really, doesn't it? Let's face it. I'm on my way back to serve my my family and country with this invasion. Very excited, and to see what else I can do on the way with. What are the treasures we can find with this group? Feel like we might start to be gelling as a team.
Calmac Fingol, dwarf fighter.
Well, I think if things continue as they have done, I think we could settle into a great routine. Steal some things, melt the things, make a brilliant hat out of the things, go to the pub. Rinse and repeat. I say rinse and repeat. Very good.
A rug, human garden wizard.
Well, I am feeling a little bit buzzed from my recent episodes of heroicism and justice. So I'm feeling a strong sense of justice, having dispelled Yuta and Chell, the horrid potion sellers from the village. I'm feeling quite a strong sense of justice going forwards. As a team, I feel like the dynamics are working. Lots to learn, of course, lots to know, lots to learn. Excited to just keep my thinking hat on and my thinking heart in place.
And last but by no means least, Runa Ironclaw, werewolf barbarian. Runa, sadly, will not be joining the party on today's adventure because, having recently acquired her horse, Claudia, she needs to take some time out to engage in her people's sacred ritual of spirit bonding with a new horse. They're spending the entire session today riding around in fields, the wind streaming in their respective hairs, laughing and running about together, and generally having a lovely time.
That was gorgeous.
Unlike everyone who is here for the adventure.
Wow, that's a tone.
Today's episode is dedicated to the memory of Belle the cat, who has appeared frequently on our live streams so far, but is sadly no longer with us. Roll that tape. We return now to much less adorable matters as our heroes continue in their quest to get rich and or die trying. Today's episode is entitled The Coward, the Witch, and the Guard Beast. We rejoin our heroes on the road to the north of the town of Flapjack, where they are traveling just as a three. Marcus upon his horse, Rupert, who has no special features whatsoever, is just a regular, ordinary horse. just very normal. Kalmak, the dwarf fighter, on foot, and Rug also on foot, but leaning on her staff, which also has on it Lamp, the fluffy mushroom bat. Runa, as previously mentioned, is off in a field in the distance, riding Claudia the horse with Flossie the sheep and having a tremendously fun time. You've been travelling north for most of the... Have you got an actual staff?
I did. I've got a big stick. I've got a long stick here. Found it in the woods. Thought I'd bring it to the show.
I've got an actual horse as well, but
I love it.
Shetland pony, so you can't see it on the stream.
All that effort as well.
I would love you to bring an actual horse onto the live stream, but I think that would be difficult.
Quite distracting.
Anyway, it's maybe. I mean, I feel like an actual horse in Steve's house would be more entertaining, or at least as entertaining as the rest of the show. Imagine the chaos. But we are traveling north along the roads. It's just after noon. You're probably thinking maybe it might be time for lunch in a bit, but not just quite yet. When, as you crest a rise, you can see further down the road, just ahead, where the road takes a turn to the left to avoid going directly into the river, which crosses in front of it. You can see a man standing in the middle of the road, or rather pacing backwards and forwards. Normally, that wouldn't be too out of the ordinary. You see men on roads quite a lot. But this man is waving a sword around, and just very distantly, you can hear what sounds like shouts and ranting and raving. Thinking back, this is probably that guy that you were warned about in the town.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yes, it probably was. We were on the we're on the road to Shortbread, aren't we?
Yes, you were heading to Shortbread's to talk to someone who lives there, who is apparently an elf.
Oh yes, the elf of Shortbread.
The Shortbread elf, yeah.
The Shortbread elf. Okay.
Well, I think this is the person who is picking fights with everybody, isn't it? Making a bit of a nuisance of himself on the road out of Flapjack.
Well, yes. That seems to be the case, and we were told to avoid this person. Now I know you're on a bit of a run at the moment, Ruag, of justice. You've got your justice pants on. And I'm wondering whether or not it's best if we go over to the side of this clearly sword wavy individual.
I feel that we could have some words, and we could probably dissuade him from his skullduggery.
I've got to agree with Rug. I think we can't leave some fellow waving a sword. No. If anything is night-related business, I think challenging a fella who's causing an unnecessary ruckus has got to be night-related business.
Exactly, it's chivalrous, you could say.
Yes, but there seems to be very little potential for treasure. Is my only concern.
It's worth pointing out that if Marcus is suggesting just going around the guy, from the looks of the grass to the side of the road, it looks as though several other people coming this way have also just gone off the road and cut a little circle around this weirdo in the middle of it. And there's a little half-worn path around him.
It does look like most people avoid him, but maybe we should break the trend. Sometimes... The real payment is knowing you've done the right thing.
Well, I am also questioning exactly how threatening this individual is if he can be opposed by walking around him.
Exactly. He clearly is in not a very fit state, and we probably needs a bit of a hand.
I mean, that to me does not rate, danger threat level high.
No,
You know,
and I've got a big hitting stick. You've got an
Yeah.
axe. We're quite well
Yeah.
armed. There's 3 of us.
Well, fair enough. I won't have it said that Lavelle's Acquisitions Limited is run as a dictatorship. Shall we go and see this worrying man?
Let's
I should
have
say.
a word. Let's have a word.
Yes. Okay. Let's indeed have a word. Yes.
Okay, how are you going to have a word with him? Are you just going to yell at him from the top of the hill you're on?
What ho? Well, you seem to be waving a weapon around. What's going on, sir?
He spins around and points the sword at you from your distant hilltop, and he yells something back, but he doesn't seem to have a very good voice. He's a bit hoarse, so you hear very distantly something like, "Come no further, or I'll be forced to slay you where you stand."
I'm sure he said something about slaying us where we stand.
Pay an angry man. Flay a bag of
Jam?
spam.
Yes.
That could have been jam. Jam.
I think we'll have to get a little closer.
Well, fair enough. But if we could just, if we circumnavigate, then we won't need to pay anything. And I don't want to pay anything. But let's go and see what's going on. Come on, Rupert.
As you approach closer, you can get a better look at the fellow, and you can see that he's dressed a bit like an adventurer, which is what you guys are, which is to say that he's wearing a moderate amount of chainmail and looks quite dirty and wild-eyed. His hair is a scraggledy mess, and his beard is growing in patchily from where he's plainly not been able to shave for several days. His eyes are wild and staring, and he's just really staring Marcus down as you approach on the horse. He keeps the sword pointed at you the whole time, just to force Graham to do some foreshortening and be awkward, I think. Not for any other.
Ooh, I like the stabby sword. It's well drawn.
Good perspective drawing.
Yeah, I like that.
And as you approach, once you're close enough for him to talk without having to raise his voice, he says, "Halt, stranger! To travel further, you must face me in mortal combat."
I don't think such a thing would be kind.
That seems yes, that seems very harsh. Why, pray tell? Why?
Also, I don't know. I've heard in some of the the fighting pits and things in the mountains, it doesn't actually count unless you shout it, unless you go mortal combat. You've got to shout that last bit and then kind of go.
I've heard this.
I've heard this as well.
It doesn't count otherwise.
I don't understand. Are you going to fight me or are you not?
Why are you? Why do we need to fight you? Why?
Because otherwise you can't come past.
Dear.
Why?
Now,
What are you protecting?
I'm not protecting anything. I just have to fight you or you can't get past.
Can I do a little magic inspection to see if the guy's cursed or like if there's some cursey stuff going on? I don't know how Rogue only does garden curses really, but
yeah, so normally the way that you can tell something's by magic is by like inspecting it and doing like mystical investigations, some of which involve touching, some of which involve licking, sniffing. Are you asking? Do you want to get close enough to sniff and lick and touch this guy? He is pointing a sword at you.
I'm going to approach very slowly. I'm going to say, "Hello, my name is Raguna Ilda, and yes, indeed, and I'm going to walk very slowly. I'm going to be like, You mustn't fear. You mustn't fear. I'm just gonna see if you're okay. We'll fight you later. We'll fight you later if you want.
And points the sword at your chest. Once you get to about sword's reach away from him, if you come any closer, you'll be just walking onto the sword, which...
Hey, whoa, hey.
Okay, all right, okay. We'll just take a step back. We'll cool down. Okay, he's very distressed.
I would like to see if I could use my my skill of courtesy and say when one challenges another to a duel, it is courteous to explain the true reason why.
It's because I have to. I'm cursed.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
right.
Cool. Great.
I mean, you should have just said that straight up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, would have saved us a lot of hassle, but
Yeah.
sorry that you're cursed.
Yes, by whom? By what?
By the witch that lives in the woods. He kind of gestures with his head off to the west. Not to the west, to the east.
Oh, why, Brita, were you cursed?
Whoa! Hang on a minute! You can't distract me! Are you gonna come past? Are you gonna fight me?
Oh, well, maybe we go into this this witch's place and get you uncursed, depending on what you did.
His eyes wide. You can uncurse me?
Well, potentially.
Can I have a go?
You know,
Certainly
this witch
try.
sounds like she might have a bit of money.
I'm a wizard, so
Yeah.
she might listen to me.
Also that.
Kind of gives you a look up and down, and he kind of like nods appreciatively. Yes, I can see. Yes, maybe you could make a deal with her. You could just, because sooner or later someone's actually going to fight me, and I don't think. He looks down at his sword, which is slightly shaking, where he's pointing it at Rug. I don't think I'd last very long.
No.
Out of interest, how many people have you actually fought?
Well, none. So far, everyone's just gone round.
Okay.
That's good. They've had a bit of common sense there. That's good. Why don't you, in the meantime, you can still challenge people to duels if they come by, but why don't you take a seat by this tree stump, and I'll make you a little warming tea from my apothecary kit. Apothecary, it's hard to say, and you can just chill. Of course, you can still challenge people to Mortal Kombat, but maybe you can just chill in between. Mortal Kombat.
Yes. What specifically was the curse as well? Because if it was just to challenge people to Mortal Kombat, then you could do that and whatever. It doesn't mean you have to follow through with it. The wording of curses need to be very particular.
I've got a really nitpicky question here for Calmac. When you say that it doesn't count as a duel unless you yell Mortal Kombat first, does that mean if you yell Mortal Kombat that it's automatically a duel? Because you did just.
No, I mean, you can have a duel. You can have a duel. That's fine. But for it to be Mortal Kombat, as in a duel to the death, then you've got to do the proper ritual, which is kind of shouting to the gods, Mortal Kombat at the beginning. Otherwise,
Otherwise it doesn't count,
right,
and whoever loses gets to come
yeah,
back.
it doesn't count. Yeah.
I've made you
Well,
a little nettle tea there. I've got you a little nettle tea that you can just have. That's for you there.
He takes the tea in his non-sword hand and drinks it, but he is still pointing the sword at all three of you at a turn. Whichever one of you is closest to him at any time gets the sword pointed.
I will have, because I'm a knight, I will have stepped in front of Rouge.
Ragul Inda,
Yes.
please.
Before we go over to to see this witch and potentially get you uncursed, old boy. Why were you cursed? Because if you're a ragamuffin, I think we might have to do a little stabby here.
What do you mean a ragamuffin? I was going to steal some treasure, but he kind of like looks at you guys. Still
what? From the
Character.
witch?
No, not the witch's treasure.
Whose treasure are you
Elaborate.
looking to steal out of interest?
I was looking to steal the forest folks' treasure because nobody's seen them in years. I thought it would be safe. It wasn't.
Ah, yes.
It was a great big horrible
So you found
beast.
A beast guarding the treasure.
Yeah.
And this was near the witch.
Episode.
Actually, well, that's what I was thinking. That's why I wanted to get a little bit more information about the location of this and whether or not they were close to the witch.
Well, yeah. It's not her treasure, and it wasn't really because of that. I wasn't working alone. I was working with my friend Stuart. Except he's dead now.
Oh.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And
Has he become...
he starts to...
The witch didn't eat him, did she? He didn't become part of the witch's stew?
No. Technically he was the witch's stew because she was his mum.
Oh.
Did she curse him? How did your? I'm sorry to. We're only asking so we can gather information so we can help you. We're not just prying in a sort of insensitive way, are we? No. What happened to dear Stuart, your friend?
I don't know. I was running away from the beast, and I don't think he ran away from the beast as well as I did.
Did you see the beast? Did you get a good look at the beast?
Yes, could you paint us a word picture so that, if we had some kind of artist with us, we'd be able to get a clear idea within our minds of what
Our collective minds.
these look like.
If only, eh? If only.
If only.
Maybe that's maybe in Shortbread we hire an artist to come along with us.
And paint our adventures.
Wouldn't that be a
Good
thing?
for the history books, wouldn't it?
Illustrate our adventures.
I only caught a brief glimpse of the thing before my courage deserted me and I fled, but I did see that it had the Thagomizer of a Stegosaurus.
Oh, well.
Stegosaurus.
That sounds spiky.
Agamizer.
Where exactly did it have it?
In the same place that a Stegosaurus would, on the tail.
That's
A
fair.
Thagomizer, spiky bit on
That's
the
the
end of
spiky bit on-
Stegosaurus'
Yeah.
tail.
Okay, the spiky bit. Did you know Stegosauruses had two little hearts? They had one heart in the top near the, and then one heart further down.
Huh. I did not know that.
Apparently.
Yes. Almost like we've gained the treasure of knowledge there. I feel like I'm close to leveling up personally in life.
I was actually thinking, so just remind me of something I was thinking about the other day. A centaur, there's like a fella and then like a horse at the bottom. Where is a centaur's heart?
They're probably in the human, and maybe they've got two.
Maybe
Well
it's
then, what's in the
Stegosaurus
horse
equivalent.
bit?
Maybe the horse-
Where's his lungs? Where's
Maybe
his lungs? What's in the top
maybe.
bit?
I feel like you'd benefit more from
More than
having
the
the
top
horse
bit.
bit. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
I'm just saying. I mean, do they have double of everything, or is the top half empty? Do they? I mean, sorry, I'm
Do you want me to
thinking about it the other day. Just
pictures of this beast, or
No,
yes,
stop.
no, please continue the
The,
character.
Yes.
So far, we've got a bit of a tale.
And to clarify to our mind,
narrow it
the collective
down.
mind illustrated, that they're kind of vertical spikes, is like long, pointy, like stalagmites.
Yeah, that.
Like a
And it
spiky
also
thing.
has the legs of a snake.
Yes.
That doesn't
Yeah.
make
But
much.
by which I mean no legs.
Yeah, no.
I don't see any legs.
Yes.
Underbelly.
Do you mean it
This
was
is
a
narrowing
snake?
it down. It could be one of 6 different things that I know of. Was there
I
any
mean,
other
if you're saying it's got-
characteristics?
You're saying it's got the legs of a snake. Surely you're saying it's a snake.
Well, I think, but it's not.
But not necessarily, old boy.
It might have other things.
Yes.
It may not have a name. It may not have a name. It may not be, or you may know from your reading of beastly books, of what it might be.
Yes.
It also had the eye stalks of a snail.
Oh, the adorable little wibbly bits. Oh
Yes.
no.
Wow.
Except the eyes were really scary.
Oh.
And
Yes. So far, I'm not going to lie. As long as we stay away from the tail, it seems a bit just like a little flail, a little bit.
Like a wibbly flail.
Yes.
Flail snail.
A wibble flail snail.
Wibble flail snail.
Flail snail.
but most terrifying of all, it had the teeth of a goose.
Oh.
Oh,
They're
there's something.
small,
Yeah.
but they are fierce.
Oh,
You
indeed.
think, oh, it's gonna just gently like, and then no.
I heard
Sounds
geese
right.
can break a man's arm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that is. Oh, I'm picturing it now. It's horrible. It's horrible.
Does it ring any bells, Marcus?
Oh yes, it does sound like it could potentially be the forest honk. Yes.
Forest honk.
Yes.
Forest honk?
Yes,
Are you sure?
indeed. It could be the forest honk. Or it could indeed
No.
be the spiky-tailed
Flail snail?
flap.
Flap.
Yes, the spiky-tailed flap monster. And one of those two potentially.
Okay.
Oh dear.
You mean you know about this? Could you go and slay it maybe, and then let me know so I could go back to the pub?
Well, it depends. The forest honk, although not the biggest of the different varieties of honk, obviously the water honks grow to be a lot bigger. You know, especially sea honks. But the forest honks, yeah, it depends how big it's grown. Oh boy, because
What kind of size was this forest honk?
Oh, big.
Really?
Big. I was scared it was gonna bend down and bite me to death with its goose teeth in one.
Down, then down. Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
It raised up like a sort of like on its lower tongue.
I mean,
Yeah,
if it's big
sort of
enough,
like yeah.
if it's big enough to bend down,
it definitely sounds like it's an adult or an adolescent. You know, at least a couple of 100 years old, which is yes, quite a dangerous time for a forest honk.
Well, you know, I think if this gentleman isn't the true terror of this forest, it's the forest honk, and the witch, who I believe to be a morally wise woman, I feel maybe is under the influence of this honk, or maybe even controls it, and we need to figure out what the heck is going on. I say we go delving into that forest. What say ye?
Well, yes, it sounds, you know, firstly, there was the promise of treasure, which I very much enjoyed, especially for, you know, as we are members of Lavelle's
Etc.
Acquisition Limited. Yes, I've never met a witch before, and I've read many stories about them, so I'm on an intellectual level rather intrigued, I don't mind saying. And also, I've never seen a forest honk in the flesh, and I am excited.
Yeah.
Not something I
Calmac,
thought I'd be saying this morning. So,
exactly.
yes.
Calmac, I know, not to draw attention to it, but maybe things just need to be mentioned. You're slightly blurring your words at times. I just wonder if you might have had a couple of drinks, which is totally cool. No, we had a hard night last night. We're still a little hungover. Do you feel okay to go into the woods and fight a forest honk?
I had a sharpener or two this morning, just to, ease me out of the pub. But having pictured a forest honk in my mind, I'm sure can't be that bad.
Well, we'll look after we'll look after each other.
Indeed, yes. I understood 50% of what you said then.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think it was a general yes.
Mm,
I think it was a yes.
yes.
Please remember, I have a crushed torso and I'm quite delicate, but we'll be on our brightest and our keenest.
Lovely. Yes. Excellent. Well, I definitely don't want to die to a forest honk, so.
Quite a noble death, if
Sure,
anything.
yes,
Quite a noble.
That would
I didn't catch
Sorry,
that.
everybody.
What was that?
made a
My power's
face.
gone out.
Your power's gone out.
Yeah.
But you're still on the
I'm-
internet, though.
You are still on the internet.
Yeah, it's my phone data. I can continue to do the thing, but if I run out of phone data or I need to actually look anything up on the internet, then there may be brief delays.
Awesome. Okay.
I love
So
it.
anyway,
Anyway,
the sword-wielding stranger is happy to tell you where you can find the witch's hut. You can find the witch's hut by following the stream into the forest.
Let's go.
Excellent. Do you take Rupert with you into the forest?
Is it horse ready?
What does that mean? Is there some kind of like forest certification board that gives it like a mark of approval, like horse ready?
Yes, before any forest. No. Does Rupert feel like he's struggling, or does he feel like, you know what, I'm comfortable with this situation and these trees? 'Cause he's okay with a little bit of foliage.
I mean, Rupert, he doesn't mind trees. Rupert can handle trees.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I think yes, I'll carry on as long as it feels appropriate. And if we hear anything, or Rupert starts to get a little bit antsy, then I'll stop and tie him up and mark the area.
I'm going to tie Lamp to a tree and feed Lamp some snacks. I'm going to give Lamp some of my rations.
That's what you tied Lamp to
Uh-huh.
there is more of a post than a tree, but that seems appropriate.
Yes, exactly. This is the lamp post here,
Yes.
which I think Lamp will like. Yes.
Oh, the power's back. Oh, it's gone again.
Oh.
So you're having power cuts? Is that what's happening? Because your lights are flashing.
I don't know. I can't see any lights in the house across the street, so
Wow.
who knows?
The
It's
chat
back.
thinks you're cursed. The chat thinks you're cursed, which might be the case.
I mean, probably. I probably am cursed. I wish I wasn't.
So do all.
But you progress into the forest, and as you follow the stream, the trees crowd closer and closer around you and grow taller and larger and older. You're going deeper and deeper into the forest. This is I should mention a very large forest. There are sections of Pelvane that are entirely covered in ancient woods and forests where the trees have lived longer than any man. Rug actually comes from a village deep inside one of the very big forests.
I went to university in a deep forest. I'm at home surrounded by trees. I think, by the way, today I think I may have I can't decide whether I've chosen Talk to Trees or Woodbend as my spell for the day.
You need to remember that you can also you've also got a sleep spell in your spellbook because you've got a scroll.
Oh, I haven't learned it yet. So it's okay. I might go for Talk to Trees today.
Talk to trees. Okay. Cool. As you progress deeper and deeper, the daylight filters through less brightly until eventually you find yourselves deep in the woods, surrounded on all sides by huge, gnarled, twisted trees. Rupert is still fine because he's a reasonably tough horse. Well, he's a perfectly normal horse toughness level, but horses are quite tough generally.
He's very special.
At least when it comes to how long you can walk.
Yeah, very special.
But the birds grow quiet, and there is an eerie feeling in the air as you round a bend, traveling along the stream, and you can see ahead, tucked into the trees at the edge of the stream, there's a low rise in the ground, out of which juts a door made of wood and painted black.
I'm going to find an appropriate place to tie up my extremely special horse. There, Rupert. You are special.
I mean,
everybody's special to someone.
Is Rupert special to you, Marcus?
Maybe it's more it.
Yeah, so Rupert's special to me. And you know, when in Shortbread, when we hire an artist, I'll make sure that artist knows that Rupert's special as well.
Well, there's a doorway and a rise in the earth.
Right. I'm assuming this is where our witchy friend or foe dwells. But sure.
Does anybody else get the urge to paint this red? You know, when you see a black door and you want to paint it red.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah.
Is that really?
This is these are the jokes. These are the jokes, folks. These are
Oh, interesting. No, so sometimes I just get that urge, you know. Must just be one of those things.
Yes.
Well, any you know, if you're a wizard, Ragu, do you like? How do we approach this this witch? What's the etiquette?
Well, often witches and wizards have slightly different ways. We had a witch as a guest speaker when I was at university, and they told us all about how to do the special hop, skip, and wave greeting, which is necessary. So I think, and they can often sense it as well. They know if somebody's doing a traditional witch greeting, and they should come out and greet us. It's the most polite way
Do we do it together? Do we all
do it together.
Do it, or
We have to do it together. So we have to hop to the right. Well, it's more of a slide, kind of hop to the right, and then hop to the left, and then you do a little crisscross with your feet. You do a little criss, and then and then everybody claps their hands.
Okay.
And okay.
Well, I feel like now's the yes. You know what they say about Rolling Stones. You know, let's go.
That's what they say. Indeed.
Yes, let's do it.
So, what was that, Steve? Oh, Steve's frozen. We can do what we like. Haha.
To Chachana, y'all. I think was what he what he wants us to
I think
do.
that's what he was going to say.
Yes.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, indeed.
I feel lost with. Oh, there we go.
No, he's back. Yes, we did.
Were
We
you
just did an incredible dance. You missed it.
Oh, I missed it, did I?
Yes.
It was really good.
Well,
really
I'm
in
gonna
sync.
ask you a dexterity test, please, instead of doing any actual incredible dance. I'll give you a bonus if you can do an incredible dance on camera.
Oh, excellent. Cool. Well,
Well, Rug, did you want to count us in there?
Yeah,
And
I'll
then
count us in. Okay, right. Okay. Shall we? Or we can do it.
or does it involve us standing up? Is that
We could stand up. It might make it more authentic.
okay? Yes.
Okay. So
I don't want to offend the witch.
No, exactly. So you hop to the right, you hop to the left, and you crisscross, and then crisscross, and then clap your hands. So she should come out now. Fingers crossed.
Let's
Well done,
hope
everyone.
So, otherwise, we just made idiots of ourselves.
Well done, team. Well done, team. We did it for the greater good, of witch courtesy, and that's the main thing. Dexterity, is it?
Crisscross.
It is a dexterity. Yeah, I'll let you roll twice and take the better one, given that you've just actually performed the dance.
Thank
Are we
you.
all doing that, or just Rug?
Anyone who wants to dance, you don't have to all dance if you don't want to.
Oh,
We
I'll
did dance. We did dance. 7 and 1. So 7's probably. So I've got 7 and 1.
Seven's a fine.
Okay.
Oh, oh dear. My lowest was a 14.
Oh, that means you
Okay.
failed.
I got a natural 20 on the other one.
I got a 17 and a 5.
Ooh la
Okay.
la.
Rug managed to dance successfully, but Marcus is completely off the rhythm, as you can see by the fact that he's clapping when Kalmak is still doing the legs.
There's a bit of lag. Oh, come on! As if that's the time.
Cursed. He's
So
cursed.
what we do in these opportunities is that we throw it over to Twitch chat to be the DM. Oh no! Hi,
Oh, what did I go again?
you're back. Yeah, you went.
I leave.
When you go, the audience take over and they decide what happens.
Yeah, no. You left when you were basically describing how Marcus was out of time.
Okay, Marcus is out of time, as you can see by the way that he is clapping when Kalmak is doing the legs. At the completion of your slightly off-kilter dance, the door creaks open, and the head of a quite sweet-looking old lady wearing a black shawl over her head, and she's got a slightly either twinkly or piercing look to her eyes, peers out, kind of frowns and says, "Who the fuck are you guys?"
Well, we are Lavelle's Archaeological Limited, and we heard that there's an extremely powerful person here that we would like to make some tea for.
More adventurers? She spits on the ground
Well,
and opens the door fully, stepping out and stretching up to her full height, which appears to be about 9 feet. She's wearing black kind of dress or long robes, and as she peers down at you and stretches her long gangly arms wide, the light seems to dim even more until you're almost drowned in shadows as she bends down and puts her kindly face right up to yours and says, "Last time I met an adventurer, he got cursed to death. Will, Lavelle's Archaeological Acquisitions Limited be cursed to death by a witch in the woods? Will I manage to restore my power and stop vanishing in the middle of explanations of things? What are the other strange animal features of the forest honk? Find out in part 2 of this episode of Tales of Adventure!
Cha-cha,
travellers, to the second part of Tales of Adventure. This episode entitled The Coward, the Witch, and the Guard Beast. So far, our heroes have met the coward on the road, where he shared with them the story of how he was cursed by the witch that lives in the woods. The witch's house our heroes have now travelled to, and they find themselves face to face with her as she looms over them, the sun growing dark, possibly incensed by a slightly botched witch greeting dance. She peers down at the three of you and asks, "What have you come here for, then? To steal my treasures? To betray each other?"
Betray each other? Is that what you said?
Yes, that's what you're like. That's what you're all like.
Why would we come here to betray each other when we could just do that anywhere?
We could have done that in the pub,
Yes.
We are
Well,
not that kind of group.
and we'd still be in the pub then.
all right. Why did you come here then?
Was the fellow on the road is making a lot of people uncomfortable. So
You've met Durfle. One of my
Durfle?
better curses, I thought. That's his name. Durfle.
Great name.
any yes. Any particular reason you cursed Durfle?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we'll be on our way then.
Well, we just want to, we wanted to find out, if he was we were checking because we're conscientious citizens. That he was a proper wrong'un, having been cursed.
Yes, what did you curse him because he was doing bad things already? Or, I mean, not that we think that you would do anything unjust, but just wondering.
I cursed him because he fled like a coward and left my steward to die. Got a problem with that?
No, I'm sorry for your loss.
Was your Stuart?
Where-
Did he get? Was it the honk?
Did he get?
The honk.
Did he get honked?
Oh dear.
Did he get honked?
Don't-
Oh,
Yeah,
You
did he get
think-
honked?
that beast is a forest honk.
Yes. Is it not?
Well, I mean, I could see how you might think it was a forest honk, having, as it does, the teeth of a goose, like a
it?
forest honk,
Yes. Yes.
eye stalks of a snake, like a forest honk,
Indeed.
the legs of a snake, like a forest honk, and the thagomizer of a stegosaurus, like a forest honk, except
Yes.
the guard beast also has the fingers of something,
Ah.
unlike a forest honk.
Yes, the forest honks famously don't have the fingers of anything.
No fingers there. Just
Where
a
does it?
slither. Do-
Where-
It has fingers.
Oh God!
That's,
Oh Jesus!
that's quite grasping. That's quite messy.
Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever imagined.
Any
Would-
other
And
characteristics?
worse, it also has the
Worse?
barbels of a catfish.
The what?
I've
The-
been told that the barbels of a catfish are like the whiskery things that they kind of
Oh.
like feel their way around with.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
So, so-
Ah.
yeah.
Like firm,
So
gluey
I-
whiskers. Mm.
Yeah, kind of like whiskers. Yeah, I could see the confusion for a forest honk, but it's really quite different.
What,
It,
what is this terrible creature then that is no forest honk?
It was made, but sorry, hang on just a second. I just realized I'm still horrible looking. She kind of shrugs her shoulders in a funny way, and she seems to shrink, diminishing and declining until she stands in front of you, just a normal little old lady's size. She's wearing a rather nice dress, although it is still black. She's bent over, hunched like a willow tree. She's got a knobbly walking stick in one hand, and she looks up at you with quite kindly, although still quite piercing eyes. And the light seems to return somewhat to the forest. Sorry about that.
Quite all right.
Come inside if you're going to ask me lots of questions.
What was your name? Sorry.
Helga. Thank you for asking.
Oh, that's it. That's okay, Helga.
And you are?
Pleased to meet you.
My name is Marcus Lavelle of the Lavelle family. And these are
Since
my
we're-
colleagues.
I
Since
know
we're-
you.
Who do you know?
I know the Lavelles.
Oh.
Excellent. Well,
Marcus? You know Helga? Or does
no,
she
I
just
don't,
know
I
you?
don't believe we've met each other's acquaintance.
I don't
Oh.
say that they know me, just that I know them. You know, they're nobles. That's how it works.
Okay.
Yes,
They
well,
live in the castle.
let
Lots
me
of
introduce.
people who don't live in the castle.
Yes. Well, and let me introduce my colleagues. This over here is Kalmak Fingal.
I'm a dwarf.
Yes,
Ah,
and
yeah.
since we're being honest, since we're being honest here in this group, my name is Rug.
Oh,
That's-
that's how you pronounce it. I've been struggling with that for the longest time.
No, I do prefer,
Ugh.
but my given name, not that I don't feel like it's my true name, but my given name is Rug, and I'm happy to share that with you, Helga, because I feel that I trust you, and I expect that trust in return. One magical
100%.
knower to another.
I will absolutely respect the honesty and bravery you have shown me here today, Carpet.
I feel like that's quite mean. I feel quite
You
upset
haven't
by.
decided what?
I think she's quite mean. I don't like her very much.
She is quite mean, but she was quite.
And she did that thing where she got really big and frightening. And
Yeah. I think we should. We'll keep. Yeah.
I don't like her. I think we should go and look for the monster and maybe try and slay it. And maybe that would be good. But I also want to help poor Durful.
Durful.
Durful. I do want to help poor Durful, and I feel like maybe we should just come back and whack this old lady with a stick.
Well, she seems rather powerful, you know, and also being slightly nasty and not very socially appropriate seems par for the course.
Sure, I guess I just felt like I was quite vulnerable in sharing my name with her, and she just sort of made a little joke out of it, and now I feel cross and quite vengeful, which is I will just breathe it out. I'll just go meditate on some moss, and I might just need to take a moment to meditate on some moss. You're right. We shouldn't take rash action.
You know how they say you can't help some people being dicks.
They do say
It's
that.
true.
It's
They
an
do.
old dwarf saying.
Really, the dwarves sound wise.
They are
You're
very
quite
nice.
wise.
It's not, not necessarily people, persons, people, dwarf.
Shall we go
Oh,
in?
Yes. Oh,
Excellent.
okay. Yes, let's go in. Let's go in with Helga.
Yes, I'd be interested to know more about this monster and what exactly it's guarding.
Well, we might be able to convince her to uncurse Durful.
Exactly.
You know?
Yes,
Yeah.
especially if if we can avenge
Stuart.
the witch's stew, as it
Yes.
were.
Yes. Yeah.
Passing
Okay.
through the door into Helga's underground hut, you find yourself in essentially a low hovel, walls made of earth, dimly lit by some dribbly, fat-looking candles stuck onto various surfaces. But there's very little space on the various surfaces because every nook, cranny, surface, table, chair, and much of the floor is littered with trinkets, knickknacks, jars, strange bits of paraphernalia, bones, shiny things, all sorts of stuff. There's a rough path cleared through the detritus on the floor that's been made by Helga as she has obviously crossed the floor in front of you, and she is bending over a large bubbling cauldron and ladling out some cups of what she offers you and says, tea?
Well, thank you very much. I give it a little sniff.
I also give mine a
it's-
sniff, quite a thorough sniff.
I will smile and sensing the other two's kind of hesitation, take a sip, going, lovely, thank you, to try to draw a bit of attention away from the other two.
It smells a bit like frogs, but when you drink it, it tastes quite nice.
And give them a kind of a surreptitious like, that's just fine.
I will also
a bit like
take a sip.
A bit like if you made tea out of chickens.
A broth.
No, not like a broth. Like if you made tea out of chickens.
Oh, okay. So it's what you said rather than what I said.
I feel like it's the same. I feel like it's the same thing. I don't.
Cool.
Nah, broth has got bits in it.
So would a chicken tea, I guess. I mean,
Well, I don't
Depends
know.
if you're going
I feel
loosely,
like a tea
doesn't
would be a tea. I feel would be more strained. I feel.
I feel you could split the difference and call it like a consomme.
Oh,
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Or like a gruel. I don't know.
Okay.
Or like a gravy. Like a gravy. I don't know.
Because gruel is more like an oatmeal. There's
Yeah.
there's chunks in
Is it?
gruel.
Is
Like
it?
It's definitely a liquid.
I've
It's
never had
infused.
gruel.
I mean,
Tough
you've
one,
had
huh?
you've had a deprived childhood if you've never been fed gruel.
I've never had gruel. I mean, people don't eat gruel. People don't eat gruel, right?
Not
Sorry, I
taken on-
take things.
If that's all you can have, then you take it.
I take things literally, and sometimes, but it does gruel still exist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I don't know. In the world that you're adventuring in Lacerfad, then yes, gruel does very much exist. So gruel is a thin liquid food of oatmeal or other meal boiled in milk or water. So yeah, it does. It's just
It's
shitty
still-
porridge,
Bit porridge.
really.
Yeah, it's shit porridge.
Yeah, porridge. Okay.
But you
I just-
got
I thought it would kind of stopped being a thing in like around Oliver Twist kind of time, but maybe it's still a thing.
I
I've
mean-
got lots to learn. Anyway,
tragically,
Lovely.
poverty and didn't stop being a thing with the
No,
Industrial Revolution.
I'm aware that this sounds weird, but I guess I just didn't realize that people if gruel was still made as a thing. I didn't know if it was still a thing.
I get you. I didn't realise that boarding schools were still a thing until I went to university. I didn't
Right.
realise they still existed because they were like zero boarding schools where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I was like, I thought they died out with Enid Blyton.
Yeah, some words you just
I'm with you.
associate with a particular time, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize that word is still in use, and that thing is still a thing. So
I
great.
drank all of
Chicken
this
tea.
chicken
Chicken tea.
Your chicken tea. That is a good chicken tea.
It's toad tea, actually, but it does taste like chicken.
That's what they say, yes.
Hmm.
Lovely. So,
Well,
yeah.
welcome to my hovel.
Nice.
Pardon the mess.
Oh no.
You need not call it.
I didn't notice. Yeah.
No, it's not. I wouldn't call it messy.
Cozy.
Cozy. Lived in. Loved.
As you're calling it cozy, lived in and loved, you can't help but notice that on the shelf just above the cauldron, there is an eyeball in a tube of yellow fluid. It makes eye contact with you.
Gross.
Calmac, you also notice that just next to the cauldron on the floor, there is a severed foot, which looks as though it's got several different types of moss and fungi growing on it. Marcus, you notice a little origami figure of a stork just hanging from the ceiling on a bit of thread.
Huh.
I'm running these on a random table, and that one's quite a lot less disgusting than the other two for some reason.
I mean, you've got to have hobbies, haven't you? So, Helga, tell us about this this monster, and is that causing you trouble? Would you like it to be dealt with?
It's not causing me trouble. No. But I would like it to be killed.
Yeah,
it's what killed the son. You see.
We're sorry
Durful
to
near the poor Stuart.
Stuart,
But
indeed.
it's the beast killed him.
Yes. Has the beast been terrorizing this forest for a long time?
No, not really. I mean, unless you try and steal the forest folks' treasure, it mostly leaves people alone.
Right. So it's guarding it. Okay.
Do you mind us asking why it attacked Stuart?
Oh, because he was trying to steal the forest folks' treasure.
To be honest, it sounds like he knew the system and had the natural repercussions of what the rules of this forest are. He knew the rules of the forest, and rules are really important. I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm sorry, but I also feel like it's unfair for Stuart to be cursed for just acting like not Stuart. Sorry, his friend. Durful to be cursed just for having a really natural human response to an enormous, terrifying creature. But we are happy to kill the beast. We're happy to give it a try. Maybe you would recognise our efforts.
Life's not really fair, though, is it? I suppose if you were to kill the beast, I would be grateful, but I mean, I don't see what that's got to do with Durful.
Well, all I would ask is a simple trinket, personally. I don't know what everybody else says, but I wouldn't mind. One of those origami. Did you do that?
Yes, I folded that paper into the shape of a bird.
Well, yes, if you wouldn't mind giving me a sort of a small one that I could attach to the bottom of my sword, I would greatly appreciate that.
That seems like a very small payment for slaying
a
beast.
That's just me personally. I've heard about the treasure as well, and I assume that's sort of up for grabs there. But I'm sort of ready to get adventuring when everybody else is. Really, is there any assistance you could afford us?
Assistance I could afford you? Well, yes, I think I could afford you some assistance. I think I could indeed. Here, take this, she says, and she passes you a human hand.
Excellent.
But with candle wicks coming out of the tips of the fingers.
Okay. And
thanks.
What does it? Is it just is it a candle? Is that?
Is it a candle? Is it a candle?
I'm just wondering.
I thought you were supposed to be an adventurer.
Surely
experts at tomb robbing, grave digging
Surely
up, sneak thievery, skullduggery, murder, backstabbing, and all that sort of thing.
Well, I was just wondering with this, do you call a hand candle a handle? Or is that confusing? Have I just stolen your... I do apologise. Yes. Well, I was just wondering if there was any, as somebody who is more familiar with the mundane rather than magical, I was wondering if it had any other properties that that I, as an uneducated fellow, would not understand.
Yes, indeed. That is a hand of glory.
Handle
If
of
you
glory.
liked it, it's not a handle of glory. It's
That's
a
not
hand
what the
of
illustrator said.
glory. Listen, illustrator,
It is
you
now.
can't brand things on a whim.
Ah,
This is an established folkloric trinket that I've introduced into this game. You've gone rogue.
Look, it's trademarks and everything.
Oh, boy. Just you wait until you find out how many additional features this beast's got, and you're gonna have to draw in a minute.
What does this handle of glory do?
If you light one candle for every member of your party, then you'll be able to pass unseen by anyone who is touched by the candle's light.
That's rather wow.
That's pretty cool.
Helga, I appreciate it very much. That's very generous of you.
But be warned, should a shadow pass between the candle and who it is that you wish to hide from, then you will become visible to them. Don't put it behind anything or get it in between something. That would be really bad
Okay.
for you.
Helga, all I ask
It's
is
also
that... Sorry, Helga? Go
what?
on. I thought you were speaking and I interrupted you. No. Thank you. Well,
You're good. I'm fine.
Great. Good. I'm glad we're getting a bit of rapport here, Helga. I feel more comfortable around you now. All I ask is that you spare our dear friend his curse. It doesn't seem fair. He's done his time. He's done his time. He's hungry. He's sad. Would you really cause more pain to this man? I mean, maybe I don't know, but that's what I ask is payment. I know that I knew before I finished the sentence. I thought, what a silly question. But this, I feel, it would be what I would like, to spare his pain, please. Also, can I have that little eyeball? Because I feel like it might help me attack the dragon. The non-honk. What is it called? It's not a honk.
We just call it the guard beast because it
guards
guards things and it's a honk.
Fair enough.
Did you know it also has the cloaca of a dragon?
The cloaca of a dragon. Oh,
I was about to say where, but Graham went straight in.
Yes, Graham is so well versed. He's so used to this now.
At least we know it's got a weak spot.
The man knows where to put a cloaca. What can I
What
say?
you want about Graham?
I won't give you the eyeball, but I'll give you one better. Here, take this ring. She passes you a pretty plain silver ring. Put it on.
What will happen to me if I put it on, Helga?
Oh, good things.
I'll put it on once I'm outside. My hands are a bit swelling up from the heat. They're quite puffy. It's not quite... So I'll do it once I'm outside in the cool air.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, Helga, for this gift.
Well, it's been lovely having you around for some toad tea and to give you my handle of glory. Damn it! hand of glory, and my lovely ring of eyesight. But now, unless you have any more business with me, I am going to go back to mourning my son's death.
Indeed, and we're very sorry for Stuart again.
I'm not really sure you are.
Well, I'm sorry for the. Well,
asking me to end the curse.
well, I'm not. You can be in grief, but also do other things as well as that. You know, it's not just like one thing. I feel. I don't know.
Sure.
But But we'll agree to disagree. Witches and
Thanks,
wizards, you know.
Thanks for the tea.
Yes, and thank you so much.
Indeed.
And I, as a knight, will avenge your son by slaying this beast and taking some treasure. Thank you,
Great.
Helga
Good.
of the Forest.
Fare thee well, Helga. Thank you for everything. Goodbye.
Bye.
Am I walking? That's what I do when I'm walking.
You leave her behind, and her hut behind you, and you progress deeper into the forest, where awaits the terrible guard beast, which is a lot like a forest honk, but isn't actually a forest honk, because it also has fingers, the barbells of a catfish, and the cloaca of a dragon, at least.
Important details.
It's like
Do
somebody
you
was
want to try
drunk
on the
and
ring?
played on Spore, isn't it?
Huh?
Like somebody
It
got
is a
drunk
bit,
and
isn't
played on Spore.
What is spore?
Oh, it's an old computer game where you could create your own creature at different stages of evolution.
That sounds like fun.
I think you'd enjoy it.
I think I would.
Mm.
I might try and find it on a non-brand specific gaming website.
Indeed. Anyway,
Are you
Anyway.
going to try this ring that you've been given, or were you just fibbing, Rug?
Let's do a bit of fibbing. I'm going to do some magical inspection. Can I inspect and walk? Save time rather than spending 10 minutes.
You inspect it. It's definitely magical. It doesn't taste cursed. Cursed things tend to taste a bit like musty, but this is quite sharp tasting. You're not really. You couldn't figure out what it does unless you tried it, though.
I'll pop it on. I'm gonna
You gotta
pop it on my thumb ring.
You pop it on your thumb, and your left eye falls out.
Oh!
Just right out of your socket. Drop down onto the forest floor. It doesn't hurt at all, and you can actually still see out of it.
oh, that's useful.
What you can see is mostly your own boots.
Do you want a hand? Can I get that for you? I'm gonna just hold very still. I'm gonna grab it. And I gently pick up the eye and bring it up to.
I'm just going to get some water skin and just wash it.
I'll hold it out so you can kind of splash some water over it. Okay. Should I?
Well, what happens when you pull the ring off?
God, I mean, should I put it back in first, or should
Well,
we?
let's see.
I can't. Give it here. Give me here. Give the arm. Give my eye.
Hang on.
Give my
Can
eye.
you see? Can you see?
I can
yourself?
see. I can see. It doesn't hurt. I can see myself from my eye. I can. Oh, I'm a bit dizzy. Yeah.
What
I
if
can-
I do? Just gonna.
Yeah. I can see around. Yeah. The initial panic subsided a little bit because now it doesn't hurt, but it's just really surreal. Hey. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see right inside your ear. You've got a lot of wax there, Calmac. You should really do something about that. I've never seen you so up close before.
You can see around corners.
You can see around corners. That's quite exciting. Okay. Well, I don't need it right now. I'm going to. If you pop it back in.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, we take the ring off. Well,
The
that feels
eyes
like
stay back in, and it feels like it's just normal again. Although you do feel as though you might be slightly cross-eyed.
Well, that's clever. Bloody hell.
That's rather useful.
I'm going to pop it here in my top pocket. Well, I'm a bit nervous of that. It seems a little bit kind of strange, not what I'm used to. But seeing around corners is a great thing. So, might use it. Okay, great. Should we look for tracks? Oh, yeah.
Well, you didn't actually ask where to find the guard beast,
No.
but you do come across, as you say, some tracks through the forest where large swathes of undergrowth have been smushed flat in a path as wide as a man lying down, about 6 foot wide, as though by a tremendous forest honk. But also there are like not footprints but fingerprints either side of the track.
Blech.
How long are
In
the
a
fingers of the? Are they quite long? They looked quite long actually in the illustration, didn't they?
I mean, the fingerprints seem to be a good dozen inches wide, so pretty big.
Big. Right. Quite terrifying.
You're able to fairly easily follow the tracks if you should wish to do so.
Yes. Well, I would say we do it, but we do it carefully, and then if we
Yeah, I think.
or see anything, then
Well,
potentially we
does
have,
I know it's not a honk, it's not a forest honk, but I mean, does a forest honk usually have like a lair, or do they nest in the open? I'm just trying to. We want to ideally, I suppose, sneak up on this creature.
yes.
Do
Well,
they hide
yes.
in trees? I feel like the
Forest-
forest ones hide in trees. Do they not?
Well, they've been known to be in trees. Yes. Yeah.
Look up in the
Caves
trees.
sometimes as well. Yes. Yeah.
Caves,
And they're often guarding treasure.
which is often
So-
buried in the ground.
So, considering this isn't even a honk and is just a similar-looking creature, it could be literally anywhere. Be anywhere.
Yes. Yes. Well, very true. And
Don't they make that? Don't they make that sound? That like, huh, kind of. Oh, that's honks. Honks make that
That's a
sound.
honk.
Yeah,
That's a honk.
they-
It's a
Honks.
honk.
That's a honk.
That's a honk.
That's
That's
a
how you
honk
know a honk is. They're
from
very,
a.
named onomatopoeically.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
why don't we just, low and slow, just, follow the tracks, be
Low and slow.
keep it, keep it
Nice.
quiet.
Yes. And then maybe we'll we might hear a cry. Maybe the guard beast is named onomatopoeically as well, and its
Maybe we say, God!
cry is, yes,
Yes. Guards.
like a Pokemon.
Yes. Like what's a guarding sound? Like quite a guarding sound, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's quite similar to honk, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's-
But
if we're
it
trying
might be
to-
in the same
That creature
family.
would be called a hare.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
might
From
be
a
in the
dis-
same family. Because
From a
they're so
distance, a hey, it could sound like a ha.
Indeed. I just wonder if they're related, and maybe it makes a similar sound. But we probably want the element of surprise, low and slow. I see what you're saying, Hal.
Whispering this as we're going along.
I'm going to get out. I'm pretty sure I've got a bow and arrow upon my person.
Ooh.
You do? Yeah, you've got a bow and arrow.
I'm going to get out my bow and arrow. Be ready, I'm looking about.
My sword and shield is out as well. Just so you know.
Heavily armed, you thus proceed along the trail through the undergrowth towards what you assume might be the guard beast's lair, if it has a lair like a hog would. Eventually, you find at the end of the trail a large, wide open clearing in the forest, centered around what looks to be the dead stump of a very old, very large tree. It stands up a mere 12 feet or so above the forest floor and is kind of broken off jaggedly at that point. It's split open down the middle into almost a doorway that you could step through. And in the midst of this empty tree stump, you can just faintly see the glitter of gold or silver, maybe jewels, who knows? And yet, in the surrounding clearing and the tree line around, you see no sign of the guard beast or of any forest honk.
I can speak to trees. I can speak to trees.
What do you think? We could ask one of the trees where the guard beast is.
They might know. They might know. And the stump might know if there are any extra enchantments on the pit. I don't want us to get into any more trouble. Shall I speak to one of the trees and ask them where the guard beast?
Should we talk to one of the trees on the outskirts? If we go into the middle there, into like the main stump, and the guard beast is sitting inside us, could be a better. What if we
keep to the back? Ask one of the outskirty trees if they know where the guard beast is.
On the perimeter.
Well, I will do that. I'm going to strike up a conversation with a tree on the outskirts. Go into my zone.
Okay, so roll your 1 magic die for me, please. Tell me what you get.
Magic die.
I thought we could have like a little like flash up thing. Magic die. Whenever it, is it a D? What did you say it was? Is it a D6? I can't remember.
In Toast, Tales of Adventure system for tabletop, you roll magic dice to fuel your spells. Because Rug is a first level wizard, she only has 1 magic dice, so all of her spells only use 1 dice.
Which one? Which dice is it? Which one? Is it a 6? It is a 6. Cool. I missed when you said it. The Den Boys. Right, cool.
Oh, sorry.
Cool. I have it. Right, let's see how this goes. I got a 3.
Okay, that means that you keep the magic dice and you can cast another spell today. You can ask 1 question of the tree that you are touching. What are you going to ask it?
Hello, my name is Rug, and we want to know, please, kind tree, if you know where the guard beast is. Is the guard beast nearby? That's the end of the question.
Letters appear on the tree trunk in answer to your question. The big animal is very nearby.
The big. What did I say? I did ask where it was.
That feels like it might not have been a proper answer to your question, so I'm going to give you more information.
Thanks, tree. Thanks.
It's high up.
It's coming up.
It's
coming up.
High up.
It's high up.
Above you.
Much like a forest honk.
Yeah, much like. Okay, so let's.
Feels very similar. I don't know about you guys. Like it mutated forest honk.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Looking
scary.
up, you can indeed see in the trees above, a little way to your right, it looks like there is curled up across the branches of several large trees a long, sinuous form with the recognizable spikes on its tail of a Stegosaurus thagomizer, and little curled up eye stalks next to its goosey beak, and its whiskered barbels as though of a catfish. Its head is pointed in the direction of the tree trunk in the center of the clearing, and it appears not to have noticed you. What are you doing?
Well, slight proposal here, colleagues. why don't we try out this Handle of Glory situation and see whether or not we keep on the invisible. We can then have a look inside, see what this treasure's all about.
Okay. You don't want to attack the creature first and try and kill
I wonder,
and
firstly,
sneak.
if it's worth the treasure, we have a look in. Secondly, there might be some magical items within the treasure that may be able to help us with this.
And I'm just going to add, like, that is quite large. That is quite large. What if we could retrieve the treasure and leave? I mean, I've just I can see the spikes. I can see the fingers. He's a big boy.
I do want poor Durful to. I keep forgetting his name. I do care about him, but I keep forgetting his name.
Yes.
It is Durful. I lose confidence. Durful. I do want Durful to. I suppose we could just say that the honk is dead. Maybe we can retrieve one of the spikes or something, and then show it to the witch and just claim.
I mean, he knows exactly how big it is. He ran away. I mean, you know.
Exactly. If we claim that the beast is dead, because I don't like Helga and I won't make it a secret, so I don't mind fooling her a little bit. I like to be honest, but she wasn't very kind. Although she did give me that nice ring. It's awkward. I don't know. We'll do what we can.
Let's see if we can sneak in for the treasure.
Yes,
sure. Shall I keep an eye? I'll keep an eye on the thingy for now. I'll keep an eye.
Indeed. And
okay.
Get ready just in case.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So hang on. So Mark, you're holding the handle, and then we'll kind of keep our eyes out and be ready with the eel.
It's still asleep. I think it's asleep.
Okay.
Yes. So let's be quiet as well as invisible.
Okay. Quiet and invisible.
I will light 3 fingers on the Handle of Glory.
That's not what it's called. Okay. With 3 of the fingers lit, are you putting away your sword or are you putting away your shield? Because you've run out of hands.
I'm putting away my sword.
Cool. With 3 fingers lit, they burn with a kind of sickly light purple glow, just for the convenience of the illustrator. And they burn reasonably fast. They're eroding down and dripping away with a faint, nauseating, greasy meat smell as you burn them down. But the honk doesn't seem to have noticed. Are you heading out into the clearing?
Yes.
Yeah, should we nip across quite quickly then if we're burning down the handle?
Well, yes, but as quietly as possible. Don't
quickly but quietly.
Obvious twigs.
Okay. So, and Rug, are you going with them, or are you staying under at the edge of the clearing?
I was keeping an eye on the honk, non-honk. But do you feel you could do with my assistance, or would you rather I stayed here?
Oh, would you feel more comfortable scouting?
I think I might.
Okay.
I might.
Okay.
In that case, I will blow out one of the fingers.
Hold position.
Okay, so Calmac and Marcus, you cross the few meters of empty ground for reaching the split open stump of a tree. And the gap in the center of it yawns open before you. You can still see faintly in the bottom that glint of gold, jewels, silver, who knows? But you can't see anything you can't get a good look at it from where you are. You'd have to kind of like go inside or lean in.
Do you want to lean in or?
Okay, how dark is it? Do I need to turn on my headlamp or?
I mean, it's not that dark. It's just
Okay.
the glint seems to be like down in the bottom of it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have a look, see what I can see.
I will maneuver so that he doesn't go into shadow at any point, just in case.
It's fallen into shadow.
You lean your head through into the gap in the tree trunk, Calmac, and instead of seeing the bottom of a tree trunk in which you might expect to see some treasure of some kind. Instead, you poke your head through and you find yourself in the middle of a huge, vast, open space, surrounded on all sides by what look to be the insides of a huge tree, many times larger than the one that you've just poked your head into. Glowing motes of light dance in the air around you. Fireflies, perhaps, but rather than just being yellow, they're all sorts of colors, like a million dancing jewels in the air. Tree roots seem to extend down from the sky to pierce the ground all over, and high up on tops of those roots, which reach up into the sky, you can see glinting what looks to be treasures, perhaps? Who can say? This tree is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
More Doctor Who. I'm certain Doctor Who's going to come into this at some point. Tom Baker is definitely going to be our next guest. Absolutely.
Read us.
I'm gonna kind of pop my head back. Mark, I think we found some kind of treatise. It's bigger on the inside than it's big. You have a look.
I know what a treatise is.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might require more exploring than just nicking the things off the bottom of it.
Okay, well, do you think we can do that and get out, or will we have to fight this thing?
Well, if it doesn't notice us going in, then maybe we can just have a look around.
Is it still asleep?
If it's just,
It's not
it's just guarding. If it's a guard beast, maybe it's guarding the entrance beast. We can make.
Oh yes, well that's a good point. We don't want to get in a small...
Nip in, blow the candles out, have a jolly good look around. When we're ready to leave, light the candles, walk off. Easy.
Yes, but we also don't want to be trapped inside its lair.
It's still not moving. It's still not moving. And if I need to hit it with a stick, I can.
I'm going to be really strict here. Unless you want to actually yell, they're like 9 meters away from you, and they probably can't hear you.
Okay.
They're on the other side of the clearing.
They're quite far. It's quite a wide clearing. Okay. I'm going to gestate with my hands. Like in The Simpsons, when Mr. Burns does all that kind of weird like stuff.
Yeah.
I'm going to gesticulate with my hands and try and be like.
Okay. Yes.
Do you do anything in reaction to this gesticulation?
Well, we're invisible, aren't we?
You're not invisible, but you can't be noticed by anything that light touches. Presumably, Trim is not Trim.
Who?
Presumably, Rug has got some trees in between her and the light. Unless she, I don't know. You can see her certainly.
Oh, okay. Well, yes, that was clear as Rug. So, let's. Shall we dive in?
Should we? I feel like Rug should come with us.
Okay.
Because if we've got the handle of glory, then surely she'll be able to be seen if we disappear in the hole.
Okay, yeah, maybe it would be safer. I thought I was protecting, but maybe it would be safer if I was hidden.
We're back over to Rug now.
I'm coming over.
Yes.
Yeah.
You want me to come with you? I'll come with you. Maybe I should have just done that.
Light another finger. That's right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, right, I'm coming with you.
Look at all the treasure. It's a treatise. Shall we go down?
This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. Yes, let's do it.
It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
As you cross actually, tell you what. What's your order of march as you walk into the treatise? I can't believe I'm calling it that.
Yeah, we're calling it that.
I'll slip down first.
I'll be at the back because I'll have to go down last with the hand.
Okay.
I thought I'd catch you out and have a nice violent cliffhanger to the ending, but instead,
soz.
Our heroes cross the threshold into the realm of the forest folk, and they find themselves inside this strange treatise, which is apparently what we're calling it now, with bizarre, gigantic roots growing up from the ground ahead of them, glowing treasures pierced at their very tips, surrounded by glowing motes, jewels that fly around them in the air. This is a place more wondrous than you have ever visited in your lives. And lurking just beyond the threshold on the other side, behind you, is the terrible guard beast that you must still perhaps yet face. And also still, there is the question of what Runa is going to do when she presumably catches up with you next episode.
Are there 2 guard beasts then?
No, the God Beast is on the outside. What we're going to do after we do
I'm
that.
saying you have to face it on the way out, presumably.
I was like, wait,
Is the-
okay, great.
They're like behind you in the real world forest.
I've got you. I'm sorry. I forgot.
What will our heroes find inside the treatise of the forest folk? Will Runa Ironclaw also manage to make her way past the guard beast to rejoin the rest of the party, or will she have an extremely violent side story? What treasures can be found inside the treatise, and will Durfel get his curse listed, or will Helga continue to be really quite spiteful over her son's death? All these questions and more answered on the next episode of Tales of Adventure. If you've enjoyed tonight's show, why not come and catch me tomorrow night in You've Got to Be Quizzing Me, same place, same Twitch channel. We stream every
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday, and they're all good stuff.
And are we still doing drawing? Like, we don't know when the live shows will be, but do you want to draw some stuff? And tickets are up for grabs, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. Send some fan art in.
Yeah, we love art all the time.
That'd be amazing.
Especially
Especially of your favourite versions of the honks.
yeah.
There a particular theme or genre of honk that is your top honk?
Cloud honk, ocean honk.
Well, at the moment, cloud honk, ocean honk, hill honk are my faves.
Mm.
Also,
There could be others.
yeah,
There could be like household honk, like a
Yeah.
mini one.
desert
or
honk.
Desert honk, ice honk.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many honks available.
Indeed.
So much scope.
Anyway,
Mm.
just
Thank you.
as is my want. Is there anything else we need to say?
I feel like we've dwindled the punchiness of the ending a little bit. Do you want to do like another punchy one, or should we dwindle?
No, I'm just going to do that's all, folks. Oh yeah, you can still donate to the theatre via the donation link below. If you'd like, that would be great. If you've enjoyed the show and you feel like there was some monetary value in it. Otherwise, stay classy, the internet. That's the punchy ending. That's it.
That's very punchy.
Yeah, it's